Okay, great. So first thing we'll do is just a little bit of massage with the stick if you have one. And we'll actually start from the bottom up. So we might walk a little bit on the stick. Starting with the toes. See if you can just grip the stick a little bit. If you're able to lift it, that's fantastic. I'm not sure I have the ability. And go in between. And then a little bit of walking on the stick, just to feel your arch. You can go lengthwise too. And some rolling as well. The side of your foot, both sides. It's a little bit uncomfortable, but it's just to get the feet a little warmed up. Good, guys. Then a little bit of work on the calves. Usually the calves hold a lot of tension. So we're just getting the blood flowing a little bit. You can apply as much or as little pressure as you want, but there's the inside of the calf, the outside of the calf, and right down the middle. So when Emmanuel shows this work, he's saying it's usually just to wake up the skin a little bit. For us, when we're in quarantine, we really don't get as much person-to-person contact. So it's good just to provide different stimuli to the skin and to the body. If you want, you can do the shin bone a little bit. It's not pleasant, but just lightly should be okay. And actually on the outside of the shin, there is a muscle here. So it shouldn't be right bone on bone, like sort of stick on bone. It should be a little bit of a muscle. If you haven't switched, switch the other leg. Good, quads, this big muscle here. It's a great way for you to find any knots in yourself. Both the inside of the thigh and the outside as well. You can also do the back a little bit, the hamstring. Switch legs if you haven't. If you find a bit of a knot, you can always spend a little extra time there, just like a steady pressure, not too much, and sink into it with your breathing, of course. Doesn't have to be just rolling or sliding, it can be twisting too. You can also tense and relax the muscle. So for example, you pull it in a certain direction, and you tense it, relax it. You're just giving different stimuli to the muscles. Good, guys. Now a little bit on the torso, just the ribs. Just wake everything up. You can do the back a little bit as well. Arms a little bit. You can think of all sorts of creative ways to apply tension, hold the stick in place. So it's forearms, even upper arms. You can tap as well if you like. Other arm. Great, guys. For this next work, you can be standing, kneeling, whatever you like. We're just gonna make the muscles work at different lengths of contraction. So you're gonna grab the stick and it's like you're trying to pull it apart. So I got the stick in the middle here and I'm trying to almost rip it apart if I can. So at this position, there's many things we can vary. You're keeping that constant pressure, but the muscles are going to change their length depending on how far away they are from your body. You can also change the rotational angle. So you're still applying that ripping pressure to the stick, but you got lateral rotation, you have distance, and you also have shoulder extension or flexion. So you can Vary it any way you like. You just keep that constant pressure pulling out. And what you should pay attention to is just what you feel in your shoulders and in your back. Try not to let too much tension come to your neck, but you can see the lengths of the muscle are changing in all these different positions. Keep a strong pressure on the stick, but don't use any more tension than you need. So you're learning to be as relaxed as possible, but still do the work. Then when you feel ready, you widen your grip a little bit and you keep going. Lots of breathing, guys. Try to clean the tension out of your muscles with your breathing. Wider grip again. Wider grip one more time if you still have room left. So it's a very wide grip, but you're still pulling out. Good, guys. Keep your hands where they are. Opposite direction now. You're trying to squeeze the stick together, but you still move everywhere. Sometimes bend your elbow, flex your shoulder in different positions. Make your grip a little closer. Same thing. So while you're doing this, guys, know that sometimes this is something you have to do when you're working with a partner. You're trying to break their structure, hands are coming together, but you still need to be able to walk, to move, to adjust your position, but you're still working against them. So you're teaching your body to continue to work, but in any position that you need to take. You can go to the ground if you want, you can roll, you can move, but you keep the pressure on the stick, don't lose it. You're trying to squeeze it together. And then take the narrow grip, the smallest grip you can. Keep working. Good, guys. Just relax. Move your hands and your arms. And any tension that builds up in the shoulders out. Just a few more isometric holds. So you're going to stand for this. The stick is going to be on the outside of your leg. You're going to bring your leg in front and try to wrap your leg around the stick. Then guys, what you have to try to do, you have to try to break the stick with your leg. So you're trying to straighten your leg. You keep a constant pressure on that leg and you start to move. You see if you can still make adjustments to your body's position, but you're still trying to break the stick with your leg. Try to be creative, find the many different positions. If you want to go to the floor, that's fine too. Very good. Other leg. So again, the stick is on the outside of your body. Leg goes around in front and then hooks. Try to break the stick. Start to move. It's a little bit like wrestling, guys, a little bit. Sometimes people have a good grip on your leg. Maybe they're trying to set up some sort of lock, but you still have freedom in the hip to move, but you're still resisting. Good, guys. Back to the first leg. This time the stick is on the inside of the leg. It's the opposite. Your leg has to go around it. It's just a little bit more difficult to grab. If you can even put the stick onto your hip, but if you need to hold it, that's fine too. Go back a little bit. Again, you try to move. Good, other leg, same thing. You're wrapping around from the inside of the leg. So it's on the inside of my knee. I try to get my foot like this. And again, you try to move. So this is really escape from grabs, right? Someone grabs your arm, someone grabs your leg. You see, you still have the possibility to move, control your body. Doesn't have to lock everything. Great, guys. Very good. Hold the stick like this. You can be standing. I'm just trying to get inside the camera view. You rotate, 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 rotate until the stick is like this. So I'll start from the middle again. You're grabbing just like a regular grip. Starts to fall towards the outside. Keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. You eventually grab it, and if you can pin it on yourself, that's great. You can lift it as well. This is the sort of limit of your external rotation. And again, you get a good stretch, I guess. And again, you start to move. You see what sort of flexibility you have in your shoulder. Your neck is free. You can walk, you can move. See what's possible for you. This is basically an Americana. It's a submission. People are going to wrench your shoulder. People get you in this position, you need to be able to feel how the rest of your body can move so you can escape from this. Good, guys. Now, I don't know if how your flexibility is. We try the opposite direction. So again, we start from this basic grip. Now it starts to fall towards the inside. Keeps falling, keeps falling, keeps falling. And if you can get it to keep rotating, this is like a Kimura lock. If you can even get it under your chin, that's great too. You don't have to. But it's a lock. Just like in training, people lock you. Just see what sort of movement you have. Even if people take your shoulder, you should still be able to move other parts of your body. They're going to have to come and help you later. One other thing, guys, you can, sometimes your arm can be straight, but sometimes you have to bend it as well. You see? When it's bent, it puts even more pressure on your shoulder. Great, guys. Other arm now. Same thing. Starts to fall towards the outside. Keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. You have a shoulder lock. See what you can do. Very good, and the other way, normal grip, stick falls in, keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. That's right. What you might notice, guys, is that the tighter your grip, the faster the tension comes to your shoulder, right? So it's an important thing to notice. If you're holding on too tight, sometimes you transmit forces to yourself much faster. Great, guys. If you can, try to find a place for the stick on your upper chest. Just like that. And the motion, is you're trying to rake the stick across your chest, if you can. You just hold it. Put that tension in. You're trying to break it. And again, start to move. Now the opposite. Stick is on the back, just like before. And again, you're trying to break it. You're trying to break it across your back. Pull your arms forward and start to move. Good guys, for 5 seconds, you gotta try to break it as hard as you can, unless your stick is important to you, like it's a broom or something. For 5 seconds, get ready. Start to push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Just put the stick aside for a second. Start to move on the ground any way you like. Shoulders should be really warmed up now. Okay guys, just a couple more. If this bugs your neck or your shoulders, please be careful, go slowly. You're gonna see if you can do just a very, very small push-up with this behind your neck. So let me see if I can get an angle here. You go down. There's a little bit of range here. See if you can do maybe 10, just check. Try not to hold your breath. It's a very tight range of motion. What you're looking for, guys, is not to power through these. It's to try to understand how the tension affects you. So be gentle with yourself. Take a break. Feel how your neck is. If you feel okay, try to do just 10 more, but very slowly. Try to understand what happens to your neck and shoulders. Everyone feeling okay? Okay, last exercise with the stick. I want to make sure you guys can see my feet. Okay, so it's important to feel as much of your spine as you can. So for example, if the stick is in this position and I want to look over my shoulder, let's just, for simplicity, say there's kind of three main parts of it. First, if you just watch my neck, the neck moves. This is somewhat independent of the shoulders. Then the shoulders can move independent of my head. And then a little bit harder to see is the feet. So for example, you can see my feet can move a little bit. I try to make it separate from my shoulders and my head. So guys, there's these little exercises we can do to teach your body how to feel each of those movements better. We try to do each one independently. So first, you get your stick in this position. You sit on your butt. If you feel like you're able to stretch out your legs, that's great. First, guys, very slowly, just with your neck. So that means the stick, you don't see the stick moving. Stick is stable. And very gently, you look as far as you can to the left before the stick starts to turn, and to the right. Then, guys, your hips and your feet, they're not going to move, but your head and your shoulders can move. So my head moves, shoulder moves, but my feet and my hips, they haven't joined in yet. So if your shoulders are moving and your hips are not moving, you can imagine that in between, every vertebrae of your spine is twisting just a little bit, right? Try not to push too hard. Just see with a very relaxed motion how far you can go. If you start to feel your legs tense up, it means you're pushing too hard. Easy, easy, easy work. Then guys, then you can add in, you see my feet, and we can slide a little bit. That's what you add at the end. So head, shoulders, foot, and you can see just a little bit farther. Head, shoulders, foot. And so this is where the magic starts to happen, guys, because we start to tease everything apart. So just listen to me. Try to stay in the stable position, the same position you were in. Your eyes move to the left and your hips move to the left, but your shoulders don't move. Your head doesn't move either. So I don't know if you can see my eyes, depends on how big your screen is. My eyes would move to the left, not my head, just the eyes. And the hips also move to the left. So they go to the left and back to the middle. You can go the other way too. Eyes go to the right, hips go to the right together. It's an unusual movement for your brain, but it should be able to do separate things the way you can reconfigure the movement however it wants. So let's say you do not your shoulders, but your head and your hips go to the left. So you see my head and my hips and my eyes go to the left, but my shoulders stayed in the middle and back. And the other direction as well. Head and hips go to the right, shoulders stay in the middle. Does it make sense, guys? If you know what the overall pattern looks like, which is head, shoulders, and hips rotate, you should be able to do each one independently of the other, and that's going to increase your ability to control your body. So we're using rotations right now, but you can do this with any global movement. Flexing the body means your head has to move, means your back needs to move back. You can break down each of those things and you can create your own exercises. But for now, relax. Again, start to move on the ground. But as you move on the ground, just pay attention to your rotations, because we just worked on rotation. See if you notice anything different. And make sure to breathe while you move. Good, guys. Lie on your back. Just feel your body. And try to feel which muscles are tense. Usually, you're not 100% the same, right? Usually, there's a couple muscles that you worked a little more than others. So try to feel which ones are a little more tired. And if you're not sure, just pick one. It's not a big deal. And slowly now, when you inhale, you tense just the muscles that are tense, already tense. Exhale, you try to relax them more. So anytime there's a little bit of tension in your body, sometimes when you add a little bit of tension to it, you increase your brain's control and connection to that muscle. When you exhale and relax, you can sort of take out the tension that was there before. It's a way to catch more of that residual tension and get rid of it. And if you feel like you got rid of some tension, try to find some more tension in your body, somewhere else. It's sort of like if you're washing a mirror or something, you see a dirty spot, that's what you're doing now. You find sort of like a dirty spot in the muscular tension of your body, and then you clean it by adding a little more tension with your inhale. Exhale, you get rid of it. It's a very useful exercise for you to feel what's going on inside of you. And sometimes, guys, the tension isn't really in your muscles, it's more in your nervous system, like in your intestines and your stomach. You feel like, like butterflies before public speaking. That's not necessarily muscular tension, it's something else. But for muscular tension, this is pretty good. Then guys, just a couple times, when you inhale, you tense everything. Doesn't have to be 100% tension, just a little bit of tension everywhere. Exhale, get rid of it. Each cycle, you should feel more and more relaxed. Very good, guys. Come to a sitting position. Now, Emmanuel had also mentioned if any of you have a ball, something like a medicine ball or basketball, if you have one, that's great. If not, you can just pretend to have one. It's just more of a prop than anything. So if you have one, we're going to try to transfer it between our hands and our feet. So for example, I'm lying down, ball's above my head. I'm going to bring it up into sort of like a V position. I have to try to hold it with my feet and bring it down. And then the opposite direction. I have to bring it from my feet to my hands, bring it down. Go at your own pace. If you don't have a ball, you can just imagine you have one and you're passing it back and forth. Anytime you need to take a break, take a break. And if you're taking a break, guys, what you can do is you can use the ball to do a little abdominal massage as well, because this is working the abs. So you can just lay on top of the ball and kind of massage the stomach. When you've had a good break, get back to work. Good, guys, relax. And again, if you have the ball, you can massage the stomach, or you can just lie on the ground and breathe. If it's comfortable for you guys, just if it's comfortable, you don't have to move on the ball, you can just relax right onto it. Let it sink all the way into your stomach. For me, stomach's a bit tender, so to relax completely, it's not comfortable. But if it's comfortable for you, you can do that. Okay, very good, guys. Now it's a little bit of push-up work with the instability of the ball. So you're gonna put just one hand on the ball, other hand, I'll do it like this, other hand is not on the ball. You have to keep a small circle with the ball, but you have to try to put as much weight on it as you can without falling over. And then you start to go down and up, nice and slow. Don't rush it. Try to feel what this movement does to your body. Anytime you want to switch hands, that's fine. You can switch whenever you like. So while you're doing this, guys, try to imagine you're applying pressure to someone, but they're starting to escape. You need to keep finding an angle where you're pushing into the person. So when this ball is moving around, it's a little bit of a simulation of that. If you feel like it, guys, you can do the same kind of work, but the ball is underneath one of your feet. If you don't put any weight on the ball, then it's a relatively easy exercise. The more weight you put on the ball, the more challenging it is. Very good, guys. Same thing with squats. One foot's going to be on the ball. And remember, guys, if all your weight is on the ground, on the leg that's on the ground, it's not too bad. But the more weight you lean onto the ball, that's where things get a little more challenging. And again, small circles, and you try to go down. You're gonna have to keep some constant tension on your hamstrings, just so that the ball doesn't fly away from you. Switch legs anytime you like. Good, guys. Take a break. Now, I don't know if the balls that you have are strong enough. And I also am very careful about anyone who has knee or ankle issues for this, but it's a useful exercise just kind of to work on your fear. So see if you can stand and balance on the ball just for a little bit. The most difficult part is getting on and getting off. Do not hesitate to jump off the ball if you're about to fall. If you try to stick your feet to the ball, you might not get off in time and you could hurt your ankle. But you start, you apply a little weight to the ball just so that you feel where it is. You want it to be really stable, and then the other foot comes on top. And be ready to jump off at any time. Try to control your breathing and see what the fear of falling might do to your body. If balancing on the ball is very easy for you, it's more getting on and off that's the more challenging part. Try to make it as smooth of an entry and as smooth of an exit as possible. I'm just gonna watch for a little bit, watch you guys do the work. Good guys, take a break. Have a seat for a second and just check your body, because when you're balancing, there's a sort of, you can have this sort of feeling where you're not sure if you can balance. And usually there's some sort of tension or leftover feeling from that. For me, I feel it a little bit in my chest, where there's something holding because I feel like I was gonna fall. So just scan yourself on the inside, see if you feel anything like that. Any holding of the breath, any residual tension. If you find it, try to exhale it. Good guys. So now we just finished the class with some cleaning exercises. It's not really to work out. We'll do 15 squats, 15 push-ups, 15 leg raises, and that'll be the end of the class. But the focus, guys, is not just doing on the exercises. You're trying to pull tension out of your body so that when you're finished, you feel very good, very relaxed. Lots of breathing, nice and deep, or whatever you prefer. 15, 15, 15. Nice and slow. Don't rush through them. When you're done, just relax on your back. And just look for your pulse. You don't have to do upper body, guys. Just the leg raise is good. Try to feel your pulse. but more just from your feeling. Just what you notice on the inside. This is actually a very important exercise. I think there have been a couple studies done where people who are able to feel their heart rate just by sensation alone, they have a better map of their body. They're less prone to depression. They're more aware of what's going on inside. So, important skill to try to feel things inside the body. And gradually, as you lay there, you breathe, you feel your pulse. It should slowly start to slow down. And you try to feel your breathing everywhere, not just your chest, not just your stomach, maybe more on your legs, through the top of your head, through the soles of your feet, even through your palms. It's almost like a cool breeze flowing through your body. Then 3 deep inhales, followed by 3 deep exhales. And then that's it, guys. I hope everyone feels good. I'm gonna unmute everybody in case anyone has any questions or comments.
Terrific stuff, Mark. I'm always amazed at, and I thought there's no other new ways to do a push-up, right? And I've done them on the ball before, but never applying pressure with the rotation. Holy cow, that's
Yeah, that was new.
good stuff. That was great.
Good, good. Yeah, it is just like grabbing a person, you know? You're trying to push them and they're slipping away. You got to follow them a little bit, so.
Yeah, and I like the addition you added with the legs, too. I mean, lots to add to. I'm going to keep this 50-plus-year-old guy in good shape.
Good, good. I'm happy. Any questions, guys?
Yeah, I didn't hear what you said about listening to your pulse.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's some work done. I'd have to go back to the book. But there's a guy named Todd Hargrove. He writes all about movements. He actually, I think you would like him because he talks about the Feldenkrais method as well. And he was talking about a few studies with something called interoception. You know, there's proprioception where you focus on one star in space. There's also interoception, which is where you feel the sensations inside your body.
Yeah.
If you have a higher interoception, you can feel what's going on inside. You're more resilient to like emotional upsets and stuff like that.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for the class.
Good to see you guys. Okay, well, next class is on Thursday night, at least for the evening. There's also day classes on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And Sean, I believe, is teaching the Thursday class. So maybe I'll see you guys then.
Thanks, Mark.
Take care, guys. Good night.
Thank you very much. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.